Hello, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. I'm recording this in the evening of Christmas Day because I would like you to share with you what is happening on Boxing Day. And I'm going to share a funny story with you as well. In Hungary, Christmas is a 3-day elaborate affair, the biggest family festival, and it all starts on the 24th. In the morning of which we are usually visiting distant relatives or friends. We are playing angels. This is what we say. When we were kids or actually adolescents, we made little packages and we went everywhere in the city. We visited friends. We just exchanged little gifts, and then we went home. And then by that time, when this finished, the parents, of course, decorated the Christmas tree, which was usually kept in the living room, in the family room, which we were not allowed to enter. Only around 4 o'clock in the evening when the sun went down, then we lit the candles, we sang Christmas songs, usually religious songs. We even said prayers for those who were already deceased or who were far away. And then, of course, we exchanged the real Christmas gifts in the family. And then we sat down and we picked out on usually fried fish, breaded fried fish and potato salad, or something we call French salad, which is a mayonnaise-based vegetable salad with basically carrots, peas, green peas, and whatever gets in there. And then, of course, we ate pastries. Baigli is one of them. It's a thing where it's a stuffed pastry. It usually comes in 2 types. That's the traditional one. One is with poppy seeds and the other one is with walnuts. But every family has its secret recipe, and of course, there's always this big contest which one is better. So it's a nice little game. And then on the 25th, usually we visit the elders, fathers, grandfathers, and also anyone who is in the immediate family but couldn't come on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is the biggie. It's the big festival. And then on Boxing Day, we are just chilled. Okay, we just don't go anywhere. Sometimes we visit friends, but as I said, we visit friends on the morning on the 24th. And when I heard about Boxing Day in England, I thought, okay, of course. Families by then are really mad at each other. They are just quarreling and they're beating each other up. How convenient. Of course, I didn't understand what it meant, that it was your day to visit friends with little boxes of pastry and leftovers of whatever. But I think both explanations are quite valid. So anyhow, today, the energy pattern is for Boxing Day, and we are going to look at just a glimpse at the Jupiter ingress chart, which is almost the same as what we are going to have on the 1st of January, which I may or may not prepare a video. I'm going to take a look at it with my London group, but I may not record it anyway. So let's take a look at the Boxing Day events. So what's going on? And the first configuration that I selected for you is going to be valid between sometime noon, when the moon in Virgo is reaching its last couple of degrees, and of course before entering Libra, and it will last until like the early hours in the evening. With configurations, I allow only a 2-degree orb, and if there are chart points which are not radiating objects, just points in space, I only allow a 1.5-degree orb. But with the luminaries, I give an extra 0.5 degree, so it's like 2 and 2.5 degrees are perfectly fine, especially when they are applying and not separating. So it's really starting from 11ish, 12 o'clock, you will have this configuration, this fixed Earth engine, involving Jupiter at the last degree of Aquarius. squaring the Sedna-Ceres conjunction, which is still very tight. Both objects are retrograding. Ceres is a dwarf planet. It used to be an asteroid, but since 2006, she got elevated to the dwarf planet status, which to my mind doesn't say anything really. I mean, it's a stupid label. Think about it. Both Pluto and Ceres are dwarf planets. Now, Pluto is a Kuiper belt object. It's actually the outer Kuiper belt. It orbits in the outer Kuiper belt and has an orbital period of 250 years, whereas Ceres is the main asteroid in the asteroid belt and has an orbit of 4 years and maybe 3 months. How can they possibly be the same category? It's stupid. Anyhow, Ceres is the nurturing principle, and Sedna is creation through dissection. So their fixed square to Jupiter is interesting because on the one hand, the Sedna-Ceres conjunction indicates that you can actually rearrange whatever is not working properly in your family, in your nurturing principle, in your relationship to your parents, either or your children, or anyone really who is close to you, and rearrange the non-working segments of these relationships and create something new out of the bits and pieces, renew them, renew the whole thing. And then Jupiter, of course, enlarges everything it touches. It fills everything with enthusiasm and optimism, but it also blows things up out of proportion. So, and this is a fixed square, suggesting that old embedded things are coming to the surface, and they're not nice always. Now, this is kind of dissolved by the moon, as I said, in Boxing Day afternoon, because it's making a trine to the Sedna-Ceres conjunction, filling it with emotional need, and at the same time with psychic energy inside as well. The moon and the sun are illuminating things as well. So it's like shedding light to stuff you won't know otherwise. And the Jupiter moon quincunx indicates that you need to do this for your own safety and harmony, for your own soul. But that's one thing. The second one is a dissolved square. Again, the square portion has been there for quite a while and will be there for a couple of more days, even for a week at least. You have a Vesta Neptune square, and Neptune is, of course, in Pisces, in its own sign, where it's strongest. And Neptune is the planet of transcendence, but also universal love, but also mystic experiences and transcendence and artistic endeavors as well. And it's squared by Vesta, the focusing principle, which means you may have been unable to focus on stuff related to Neptune. Both celestial objects are accompanied by transcendental celestial objects as well. Vesta is on Sisyphus, which is not a nice asteroid. Sisyphus is futile, hard work. So you're focusing on something that is either futile and or hard as well. And Neptune is on Moira and Memoria. Moira is they are the goddesses of fate, and Memoria is memory, of course, remembering your fate, remembering your destiny choices. But the square is dissolved by Mercury in Capricorn. By after tomorrow, Mercury will be moving out of the exactness of this. And Mercury in Capricorn is usually helping you to solidify, to structuralize your communication, to use the exact words that are necessary, to use proper words in order to communicate in the best possible way. But Nagasaki is really blowing this up. At the same time, it may help you to erase and destruct everything that is non-working, that again is causing an obstacle, and just, you know, start all over from scratch. That's your communication during Boxing Day, and also on the 27th, probably. And then there is a little engine with an extra trine. I put in Chiron because it is still out of orb, but it's going to go there, so to speak. Of course, this is the Uranus-Saturn square, which is turned into a little engine by Mars, which is becoming into orb, making a sextile to Saturn and quincunx, the bidirectional quincunx to Uranus. And this is the little engine energy, which is a little bit less beneficial than a regular engine. Regular engines are really very powerful because they combine, as I said, the blessing of the trine, the daily tension of the square, and the karmic intent of the quincunx. Here you don't have the trine. Instead, you have a sextile, which provides you with potentials, fruitful potentials. First, you have the Uranus-Mars bidirectional quincunx, which works like a trine. And this is about free will. So you do have free will. And this free will may dissolve the tension between Saturn and Uranus. Saturn-Uranus square, of course, is not, I mean, they're not rare at all. Okay, you have a Saturn-Uranus square every 7 years or so, 7-8 years. But whenever they are there, they usually cause earthquakes, either figuratively or in the true sense. This is a fixed square. This has been our 2021 main astrological feature, the main world aspect, and it did cause a lot of disruption and a lot of earth-shattering events, let's put it this way. And the S square is dissolved by Mars, and the little engine is creating a ton of extra energy. And then Chiron in Aries is still at 8-9 degrees, but it is moving forward, and it's already making a trine with Mars, but not yet exactly at the degrees of Saturn and Uranus. It will be in the upcoming days and weeks. So it's going to be, soon it's going to be a much closer configuration. And then Saturn has 4 celestial objects, just like in the chart of Christmas Eve. Ishtar and Cybele are 2 strong feminine goddesses. Thalia is the muse of theater, and Asclepius is the asteroid of healing. So there's a lot of healing energy here. And of course, Chiron is conjunct still with Harmonia, which means that our harmony is wounded, but also by starting to let go of karmic wounds, but not nurturing wounds, you may actually create extra harmony for yourself and your family as well. And then Mars is still conjunct a very strong hero, Heracles, and so it gives an extra boost of heroic energy to it. And then there's also another engine, a cardinal fire engine involving asteroid Lilith, dark moon Lilith, and Juno. And it's also a finger of fate involving Pallas Athena, Juno, and dark moon. The dark moon is really at the crux of these 2 intertwining configurations. And the dark moon is the moment in the Lilith myths when we accept the curse. We take the curse upon us. We don't care. Yahweh can go ahead and curse us. We don't care. So this is the acceptance of whatever situations we are in and go forward, to move forward and not looking back and not wanting to go back. It is conjunct Scythia, as you know, Hungarians are descendants from Scythians. So it has a special connotation for us Hungarians. But Scythia is also a land where the basic morals of human beings, how to relate to each other, how to look at certain stuff in a way so that it would be a win-win game. You know, when you look at games, I'm sure you are familiar with game psychology, and there are really 3 types of games. There's this 0 outcome game where nobody really comes out as a winner, and nobody is actually better off. You just go back to square one. And there is a double winning case where both people win. And of course, there's a total loss game as well. And if you consider the moral teachings of ancient Scythians, you can learn how to provide potentials for everyone to have a win-win potential, to have a win-win game. So it's quite interesting to me that it is right now, just for a day, by the way, because the dark moon moves very fast. It moves 3 degrees a day. And that exact moment on Boxing Day of all days, you have Scythia dark moon Lilith conjunction. Trining the asteroid Lilith, on which there's Hecate and Odysseus. So you have the dark moon goddess carrying wisdom and Odysseus carrying adventure. And then you also have, this is a square portion of the engine. You have Juno in Capricorn, conjunct 3 others, Nefertiti, Nemesis, and Hestia. Nefertiti is another strong feminine wife archetype. She's the wife of Tutankhamun. Hestia is the priestess. And then Nemesis is the punisher of hubris. And hubris was in Greek mythology the greatest sin you could commit, because it was the disobedience to God, gods, to the unacceptance of what the gods wanted from you. That's quite interesting. And then, of course, the whole structure is dissolved by Pallas Athena, because she's actually she's dissolving the square portion of the cardinal fire engine from Pisces. And she has Socrates and Tristan there. So you have a philosopher and a hero on the goddess of wisdom. And there's a Yod, the apex of which, again, is the dark moon Lilith Scythia conjunction. And the third one, the third figure is the Jupiter entering Pisces. And if we look at this particular chart, what we see here is Scorpio moon at the very beginning of Scorpio, and it's not really making too much, but everything, this is on the 29th. You still have this triple conjunction involving Venus, Pluto, and Astrea, and you have Mercury there. So Mercury is joining the triple conjunction, making it a fourfold conjunction. And this entering is actually giving understanding and logic to the space-time moment. And by the fact that Jupiter is entering Pisces, from the old perspective, it's entering its own sign. So it's feeling at home. And from a karmic perspective, it is entering Pisces, the last of the signs, giving us the potential to let go, hoping and understanding anything that is linked to Pisces from a higher sense, and also filling it with enthusiasm or optimism. So that's going to be the next year's main note as far as the change is going on, because Saturn is, so the other destiny planet is remaining still in Aries, in Aquarius, and Jupiter is making the transit to Pisces. It will actually also enter Aries. I think it is sometime in May, but then it will go back to Pisces, and the final. I don't remember. I actually don't remember when, so just disregard this. It is not important for us. What is important for us is that at the very beginning of the year, Jupiter will be in Pisces, and it will also make a karmic cage with the nodal axis. So this is now already in effect. It will be there in the January 1st chart, of course, and I think the exact T-square between the nodal axis and Jupiter, which in karmic astrology is called a karmic cage, will occur, I think, on the 3rd of January. I should have noted these dates, sorry about that. But what is interesting in this chart is there's a lot of flexible energy, because look at how many flexible. How many mutable signs are there? The nodal axis is still immutables, Mars, Vesta, and then Jupiter and Neptune and Pallas Athena, and of course then Black Moon Lilith in Gemini. So there's a strong significance in mutables, which means there can be change made if this is what you want to do. So this is on Boxing Day and the upcoming Jupiter ingress on the 29th. And as I said, I have prepared my notes on next year, and I probably will make a short video because I think we do have a very important message there. And not on the 1st of January really, but the main astrological features of the year, and especially the Sun's ingress into Aries is a very, very strange chart, to tell you the lead. I mean, to be on the safe side, it's a really strange chart. But as I said, I'm preparing a seminar workshop on that, probably on the second week of January, and probably I will make a video afterwards. So until then, I will probably come with a lot of other stuff. We are continuing the success story, and also whenever I see something interesting, I will show it to you. Happy Boxing Day. Bye.